the game will move quite quickly in a kind of individualized way. That if I start, I will say the master is talking to you. They tell you to do this thing, and we will role play a little bit and stuff like that. And maybe see what roles are there and that kind of thing. But the important point is that I should not go back to that person until everybody else has had a chance. Also, more than one character can be in any kind of situation. So there can be more than one role, right? As we play. And you can certainly pull your characters together, just a little bit like Primetime Adventures. I could say something like, okay, so now I guess you were in the swamp and the dogs are following you, yeah? And you could say, aha, I've been looking for him, so I'm in the swamp, right? That's okay. As long as you weren't chained up somewhere, right? If it makes sense for what we know, then it's fine. So then another point is that you can always say, during your turn, especially, or while you're playing, you can always say, "Oh, and I want to go and talk to this connection or find my connection," and I always have to say yes, right? So even if you are chained up in the dungeon, you can say something like, "And that the cat slips through the bars," right? Something like that. So you can always get your connection and try for some love.
Is it expected that we're going to be chained in the dungeon quite often? Because you gave it as a 2-time examples now.
Well, I just was thinking about it. So, I am thinking for this place, for this village in the mountains, the heavily forested mountains. But there's a large cold lake nearby, and there's also several old, well-designed little family estates. They are far apart from each other. One is in town, one is on the mountainside, and one is probably by the lake. And there, as you might expect, they have these iron fences with fancy designs. They have these brooding old houses and many small buildings in their grounds. They may have a private forested area or something like that in each one. They're different because of their different locations. And so Maximus is the privileged individual for one of these, and is let's say, do you want it to be the one on the little island in the lake, in the shore of the lake, or do you want it to be the mountains, or the one in the town?
Rock, paper, scissors. I like having this place at the middle of the lake, or kind of have this place up top of the mountains, kind of looming over.
Right, either one. Yeah, I like.
Or is it like a lake on top, up at the mountains?
Yeah. Well, it's certainly, if it's in the mountains, it has a little lake of its own.
Yeah,
for sure. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see it from the town, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. It's always over you. And
yeah. Okay, and then the other family estates, they are wretched and old and out of money and, kind of worthless in comparison. And we no longer have complicated questions. We are in the master's workplace in this creepy old set of buildings. So this is not where people live. This is where, in his halls and his dining rooms and things. This is in the workplace, which is a long, low, probably a converted stable. And on it, you are, red is skin to the table.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're an endless source of fascinating data.
Yeah.
And there's a set of wooden closets that have they're the old ice boxes. You take the old big block of ice and slide it underneath in the drawer, and so ice has to be delivered, and that's where he's closing it, and there are all these bottles of blood right in there, and he's injecting you right with he has the chemical apparatus, and distills some terrible liquid which he injects into you, and all the time you are listening to this long discussion of all the abstract and metaphysical properties of the mind, and he's saying, don't you understand, demanding that you understand him when he explains what your data is going to prove to them. So you don't even have a role. You're terrible at this. He doesn't mention a color once. Right. Now, in the so the other characters, let's see. There. Yes.
I mean, I'm probably assisting.
No, I was going to say. I mean, this all has to be organized properly. Right?
When you were talking, I was imagining that I was holding
right
the
there,
tray with the properly organized.
Well, and of course, he says it's not working, and he says, Daisy, it's the wrong one, the wrong blood, the wrong vial again, stupid girl.
I'll get the right one, Master.
He says he starts to this Maximus is handsome, right? He's got the full head of hair swept backwards, and in the midst of this work he's frustrated, so he pulls at his shirt, so now the pectoral muscles,
the hair,
his collarbone is beautifully displayed among the ruffles, and so he storms up and down. He's cursing you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the right one.
Oh, yeah.
That one was the right one, by the way. But maybe there is a better one. A righter one.
He can even see this rebellious thought in your mind. He says, you doubt me? Wolf.
No, Master.
Take her.
Here it is.
Get the blood number 1120, Daisy. 1120. I want a fresh batch. And I want it tonight. Says, he says, and unstraps you and shoves you off the table, right? Collects himself and says, the problem is the lack of intellectual stimulation around here.
I'm looking at the ground.
Right, and so he has ordered you, go off and do this. Does anyone not want to go?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, like, no. I'm not like yes. The English language is very complicated around that. It's like
I'm just
I'm
grabbing her and going where I think I'm supposed to go.
Yeah. I can immediately tell you who 1120 is.
Of course it is. It is the young. The fellow at the other estate needs to get some blood drawn. And so, therefore, you guys will go off and do this or try. Is that the case?
I mean,
okay. You can go.
The master wants that blood.
Mm-hmm. This other estate is not up on the mountains.
No,
it is out in the big lake by the town. That's my
Yeah.
My image. Okay, so and I think that and you can induce nightmares, correct? Right.
But not on children.
Right. And so, well, this
But
is
is
not a
that a
child.
child?
This
That's
one's
not
not
a
a
child.
child.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and the master says, it must be fresh. It must be pure. It must be perfect. Perfect.
Do we know about each other's
More or yes. Yeah, you do. You
the
have been
connections?
Yes. Well, the connections, no.
Okay,
Not necessarily unless
Alright.
you want to. Besides, you don't have any love in them yet. So
that's true.
now the master says the blood must be perfect. He must be experiencing the height. Do not fail me. You thing. You failure. Do not fail me again. So you have to go and induce the nightmares so they can get the blood.
So we are all going.
Nope, not
Okay.
not you.
Also, I think I do like around cleaning stuff
Right.
or like
Mm-hmm.
when I was experimenting, I was like handling tools and just asked for scalpel and I
Yeah.
was sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when we are going out, like he's dragging me
Right.
like,
Yeah.
for the hand, I'm like 1120 is
Right. Exactly.
the name. I don't.
Aloysius.
How?
Aloysius.
Aloysius.
Yes.
Is from Aloysius, the son in that big house near the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stopping and looking at her.
I'm just telling you
Confused.
where we need to go.
Yeah.
I'm looking confused. And then I'm pointing somewhere. Is it?
Yeah.
Then I keep going.
Okay. And you have to follow, unless you want to resist. No. Okay. Now, what I would very much like to do is to know what your characters are, how you're going to do this. Are you going to use some villainy first to induce the nightmares? And of course, you're more than human, so you don't even have to roll for that.
Are we doing things together or are we doing things separately?
Right now, we are role playing. You're in a scene. You are coming to after you're traveling through the roads. You can go outside the town. For the most part, you don't have to go straight through to get to the lake. There are roads. And do you walk? Do you take a carriage?
I think we walk.
You can. And there's just the fear is greater than the reason. So the forest is scary and dark and shadowy, even in the day.
I still don't understand why Master needs to do these experiments during the night. It would be so much easier to get these things when people are not sleeping. I mean the blood, not the nightmares, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I got an order. I just need to walk.
Yeah,
And I've been strapped on the table like for 5.
Yeah. Plenty of opinions, which is excellent. Now, do you want to follow them or?
Was I ordered to?
No, you are not ordered.
Can I stay?
You're checking, just checking. Yeah. And so it's just about Aloysius.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just curious. Okay. So then we are going to continue until there is a roll to make. So who is going to try to do what? Will you induce some nightmares?
Yeah.
How will you do it? I'm curious. How does your character do this anyway?
If it's during the night, go ahead.
I'm thinking about how we're getting in.
Mhm.
If nobody's stopping me, I'm probably going right through the door,
I can probably point you to the
window.
room. Or...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But will you actually just enter socially, or are you going to sneak in?
I was going to sneak in.
Well, I'm just asking everybody.
My character is, as long as you don't tell me, I'm going to walk right in. So if you want to sneak, you probably have to stop me and say.
Or you can just do whatever you want while I go through the door or through the window and just induce nightmares. I mean, my character is just going to induce nightmare, whatever happens after that is your problem.
Oof. He has to be sleeping in order to get the perfect blood sample for the master. So breaking and entering very loudly might interrupt the sleep. So we need to do it quietly.
I got an idea for why I made...
My point on the door and like... my character is trying... sorry.
Unless you brought like blood, like what's it, blood picking equipment. My character go, oh, they forgot those ones, and then like go and fetch those and like.
I see. Okay, you're going to fetch some tools. Okay,
if you decide you forgot about.
My character did not think about that.
And I was just dragged outside of the room.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Probably, you know what they did not hear them say? They didn't bring the equipment to collect the blood.
Ah.
I mean, probably by now I'm gonna be
you're like
realizing that.
My character understands that you want him to break the door, so he's like, door.
No.